Today we're making high protein breakfast bowls. You got 5 meals, 35 grams of protein per serve, and it's leaner and higher protein than the version that we did a few years back, and that has over 1 million views. Let's get into it. Here's everything you need: potatoes, capsicum, red onion, black beans, chicken sausages or a sausage of choice, eggs, egg white, and everything for a fresh pico de gallo. Simple ingredients and done in under an hour. Starting off with the first red onion, this one's going to get roughly chopped into large pieces. It's going to be added with potatoes and a capsicum and put into the air fryer, so we want it to be a little bit on the larger side, that way it cooks a lot better. The second red onion gets finely diced. This one is going into the pico de gallo, where you want it small enough to get a little bit in every single mouthful without it taking over everything else. Now we're going to need 5 tomatoes. You can use Roma or regular, and depending on size you might need 4 or 5, so just take that into note. Quarter them and then run a knife along the inside of each to slice out the pulp and seeds. You can also do this with a spoon. Don't throw that away, you can save it and just use it in a different sauce. Taking the time to do this is what keeps that pico de gallo fresh and vibrant and without it becoming a soggy mess. And then once that pulp is out, you can dice the flesh finely and evenly. I like to slice this into strips, rotate, and then dice into those small pieces. 10 grams or 0.3 ounces of fresh coriander or cilantro can be roughly chopped. You don't want to over chop this, you just want those proper pieces that you can see and taste throughout the pico de gallo. You don't want it to be completely fine. Now the diced tomato, the finely diced red onion, fresh coriander or cilantro, and the juice of 1 whole lime can go in a bowl together. I couldn't get a jalapeno today, so we're going to leave that out, but if you can get one, definitely add it in there because it belongs. Season well with a little bit of salt, a little bit of cracked black pepper, about 10 cracks worth, and then just give it a mix. Make sure everything's combined, and we can get this in the fridge until we're ready to serve. Moving on to 3 potatoes. Peel them or don't peel them. I'm going to leave the peels on. Get these into a medium dice. Taking your time here is important. You want even pieces so they all cook at the same rate in the air fryer. Too big on the outside, it's going to burn before the center cooks through, and too small, they'll just turn to mush. So medium and even is exactly what we're going for. Now the diced potatoes go into a bowl with 1 tablespoon or 20 milliliters of olive oil, and then add in 1 teaspoon each of onion and garlic powder and 1 teaspoon each of smoked paprika and dried oregano. We can also add a little bit of salt here as well as cracked black pepper, again 10 cracks worth. Toss everything together with clean hands until every single piece is well coated. You want that spice mix on every surface before they go into the air fryer. Moving on, 1 large capsicum is next. Cut this into a large dice. I like to stand this up and then slice around the core to remove as much pith and seeds. If there is a little bit left over, just slice it out or bang it on the bench. And we want to cut this up the same size as the onion, that way everything cooks properly and together at the same time. And if you have it too small, it will burn quite quickly. To finish the prep, add 6 whole eggs and 6 egg whites into a bowl. The egg whites are doing 2 things here. They boost the protein significantly and they lighten the scramble so it's not heavy and dense. And we can mix this together with a fork until it's fully combined and we can set it aside. We'll season this when we go to cook it. So with all of the prep done, it's time to get cooking. The seasoned potatoes can go into the air fryer at 200 degrees Celsius or 390 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. Make sure it's a nice single layer and pack them in, otherwise they'll steam rather than crisp. And if your air fryer is small, you might need to do this in 2 batches. While the potatoes are doing their thing in the air fryer, add 1 teaspoon of olive oil to a pan and add in about 10 chicken sausages or any sausages of your choice. We're going to place these into that pan over a medium heat. Give them about 8 to 10 minutes, turning them occasionally. We want them golden on the outside and cooked all the way through, and we want that even color all over. So just slightly rotate them every couple of minutes or so. At the 15-minute mark, we can go back to the potatoes. They're golden and starting to get that crispy edge. The roughly chopped red onion and the large diced capsicum can go in now and just mix it around so it gets all of that seasoning all over. And then everything can get cooked together for a final 8 to 10 minutes. I just met it in the middle and set it to 9. Going back to the sausages, they're golden, cooked all the way through. We can give them about 2 to 5 minutes just to let them rest and cool down a little bit because we will be handling them. And then we can cut them on a diagonal or straight. It doesn't really matter, but the diagonal just gives it more surface area and looks far better in the container than the straight cut ever would. Alright, so go back to the air fryer. The crispy potatoes are golden, the red onion softened up, and that capsicum has that same color, that nice little caramelization going on. It's exactly what we want to see. We can add this into a bowl. Add in 1 400 gram or 14 ounce can of black beans. These have been drained and rinsed. We can fold these through while everything is still hot, and a little bit of that spice mix will transfer over to them. The residual heat warms them perfectly without drying them out, and they'll pick up all of that flavor along the way. Now add 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of butter into a non-stick pan over a medium-low heat. The eggs go in last and they're going to be cooked properly, and this is the most important technique in the whole recipe because if we overcook them, they're going to be dense and rubbery when we go to reheat. I like to cook my scrambled eggs over that medium-ish heat just so we can fold all of the sides in and then just keep rotating it. And we're going to cook this for about 2 minutes. It doesn't need long at all. And I know it does still look a little bit raw, but we want to remove this when it's at that point, because if we remove it when it looks done, you've overcooked it. So we want to make sure that it finishes off cooking after we've taken it off the heat. And you can also season this with salt and cracked black pepper or ground white pepper if you don't want those chunks in it. Now to store these, I'm using 5 750 milliliter Luvele containers. The potatoes, vegetable and black bean mix goes in first as the base of every container. The sliced sausages go in next, just placing them off to one side of the container, and it's roughly 2 sausages per container. The scrambled eggs can go in next, just spoon them in gently and make sure you evenly divide them between the 5 containers. Now the pico de gallo goes on last, and be generous with it. Just place it straight over the top. You can store this separately and add it on once the meals have been reheated if you prefer to have it cold, but it's perfectly fine if you want to heat it up as well. The lime and the tomato work just as well, hot or cold. I'm adding over a little bit of chili sauce, and that is a completely optional step. You can add any sauce you like or don't add any sauce at all, and you can add it now or after it's been reheated. And the same with a little bit of fresh coriander or cilantro to finish and to add that nice final touch. Now these will last 4 days in the fridge and 3 months in the freezer. Allow them to thaw overnight before trying to reheat. And I'm also using the vacuum pump that works with the Luvele containers to get a little bit more life out of everything. If you're interested, there's a link in the description. And with that done, we can then dig in. That is the perfect grab and go breakfast. You can eat it hot and cold, preferably hot. It's going to taste a lot better, and it's just going to set you up for the whole week, making your life a little bit easier.